Hello, I'm with Jekhan Aruliah here, and Jekhan Aruliah is doing an amazing job, especially going back to Jaffna and settling there for last 10 years. And he's educated in IT and worked in IT and computer sciences, but currently dedicating his life toward helping and empower young entrepreneurs, businesses, and investing his time. So I'd like to hear from him more what inspired you and kind of what kind of role you're playing in the society.
Okay, so what inspired me? Okay, that's very tough because I left Sri Lanka when I was 2 years old, and I have no connections there, no family in Jaffna. In 1993, I was working with a British software company, and they sent me to Colombo. 7 years I was there. I met a girl there. We got married. We had our son in 1996. We moved back to the UK in 2000. In 2013, she passed away. She had pulmonary fibrosis. So in 2015, when my son went to Canterbury Christchurch University, I moved to Jaffna. And in Jaffna, one of the things I did is I developed some ancestral land very close to Jaffna University. And that was my anchor project. Around that, I started working with entrepreneurs from everything from IT, which is my background, to agriculture, manufacturing, tourism. I've done work with the provincial council, all around supporting the economic development of the North. I have nothing to do with politics. As far as I'm concerned, politicians have done very little for the North. So I'm a mentor, an advisor to these businesses.
And especially moving from here and doing business here, the whole way of life is quite challenging, and especially navigating around the politics because, as you said, it hasn't done much, and but they put all the obstacles and roadblocks. So it would have been difficult journey for you in the last 10 years. And how did you manage it? How did you navigate through all of the obstacles? Because even if you don't want it, they'll be thrown at you, right?
You have to be patient, and you have to be empathetic. You need to understand where on both sides, the people in Jaffna have their point of view, the bureaucracy has their point of view, the diaspora has its own point of view. In the end, the northern province and the eastern province are the two poorest provinces in Sri Lanka, which is a tragedy when you consider the powerful diaspora, the economic power that the diaspora could bring to bear, which it hasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to navigate the reasons for that, find a way to create that engagement. What I've said is that the diaspora is losing interest in the northern province, particularly as the next generation comes. While I think we have 10 more years of people who are still have economic strength in the diaspora. That means they're still senior executives, directors, owners of businesses
And that's from
around
the
the
first
world.
generation, you mean?
From
by
the first generation, and even arguably the second generation, because I left when I was 2 years old, so I'm sort of second generation. They have an interest, but the next generation after that, the Tamils integrate so successfully into the UK and Australia and Canada that they become British and they become Canadian and they become Australian, and they lose their link to the North. If the North doesn't use the power of the diaspora in the next 10 years, then it's lost it.
And the emotive connection is gone, and they will quite comfortably settle in, and they have become part and parcel of these countries, isn't it? So why do you think that that kind of, you said in your earlier statement that slowly that it's losing, or that the diaspora is not giving the full potential? What do you think the cause of that, like in your opinion?
Well, part of it is that they've lost interest, but another part is that they don't understand how to do it. So they don't understand how to engage with the people in the North. One thing I said is that if you're going to do a project, you have to be there. You know, you need to micromanage.
Yeah.
I put up a building on this ancestral land. It's about 12,000 square feet. And now there are two software companies. I don't own any of these companies. I only own the building. So there are two software companies. There's a restaurant, and there's another small office there. But if I hadn't been there to go and look at the building every day or every 2 days, there'd have been lots of mistakes made. I have a friend, another diasporan, who had gone to Switzerland as a teenager. He invested in a large farm near Elephant Pass, and when he wasn't there, he put a lot of money in there. He didn't go there because of COVID, so COVID travel restrictions. He still sent the money, but when he did visit, it had gone completely wrong.
And then once they lost it, then they feel that it's not for them and they would not actually go back. Now this is interesting, as you said, they have to go there and they have to be there themselves, because that's not happening as much as you wanted it. And you also mentioned something, a very important point earlier when you were speaking here, saying about the land especially left unused, and then the properties, amount of property, especially in Jaffna Peninsula, because people just have the emotional connection. They hold on to it. They don't want to put to any good use or even sell it, but then eventually when they perish, and then they are their kids or their grandkids are never going to actually claim that, and that's going to become part of the state's going to take it away. Now, what would you say to people who hold land there and what they should be doing?
People who own land, houses, and agricultural land, they should either invest in it, they should sell it, or they should give it away. You know, a lot of the land in the north is worth very little for somebody who's earning pounds or dollars. If they give it away, it becomes productive. If they sell it or if they invest, you need to make it productive. There is so much land out there that is doing nothing, and that is it's an economic crime that diaspora is holding on to land like that, property, asset, houses, buildings that are doing nothing. They need to make them productive, give it away, sell it, or invest in it.
Thank you, Jekhan Aruliah, to initially sharing this, sparking this conversation. We will continue to talk and see how we can encourage more people to do so, what you are doing. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.